जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is the 7th of March. It is Vishnu Masa or Chaitra Masa and Krishna Paksham Chaviti Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events in the calendar. So shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni is speaking to Vidura about the time factor. So time is it is a personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as an impersonal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Kalena Abhyakta Murtina, Abhyakta is the impersonal feature. So that time, so starting from the paramanu and to the up to the Lord Brahma, so everything comes under the control of the Kalena Abhyakta Murtina. So in the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And some of the scholars, they calculate that Brahma's lifespan, which is of 311 trillion years of the human calculations, that is the lifespan of Brahma. That is, it is as the calculated as a approximately just as a breath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But even though that is not exact, it is approximately calculated. But time does not work on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is for the understanding purpose. So Maitreya Muni was mentioning Kaloyam Dviparadhakyo Animesha Upacharyate. Kaloyam Dviparadhakyo. Dviparadha is a 100 years of Brahma's lifespan. Dviparadhakyo Nimesha Upacharyate. Why it is calculated as two paradhas. Even we have got 100 years of life. When the lifespan is divided into two halves. One is the body keep growing up to the 50 years, and then after 50 years, it gradually it declines its glory. It it starts it prepares itself to get decomposed. So there will be development and then there will be degradation within the body. Similarly, that is the two halves of the general human life in this material world. That happens to even to the Brahma as well. Of course, Brahma is supreme person. He is the supreme living entity in this universe, and their bodies will not get deteriorated like our bodies. Our bodies are completely dense with the earth and then water, fire, like that. But the living entities for upper planetary systems, they are pure intelligence. So that Viparada time, Kaloyam Viparadhakyo, that is the Nimesha Upacharyate. It is the Nimesha, that is the less than a second of time of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so Avyakrutasya Anantasya hi Anadehe Jagadatmanaha. And again glorifying the Lord as the Avyakrutasya Anantasya He Anadehe. He is the Supreme Personality, but always existing, unlimited. Okay, and Jagadatmanaha, the soul of this universe. Okay, after mentioning that, so Maitreya Muni is mentioning, so starting from the Paramanu to the end of Brahma, everything, all this time is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But here, the time acts only on the materialistic bodies, not on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Likewise, Maitreya Muni is mentioning here. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 11 and verse number 39. कालोऽयं परमाणु आदिः द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः नैवेशितुं प्रभुर्भोम्न ईश्वरोद्दाममानिनम् कालोऽयं परमाणु आदि Kaloyam, the eternal time, I am this. Paramanu, atom, Adihi, beginning from the Paramanu. And then Dviparardha Anta. Dviparardha is the two super durations of the time. Antaha to the end. Starting from the Paramanu to the end of Brahma's lifespan. And then Ishvaraha is the controller. Niveshitam Prabhurbhomna. Niveshitam, Naiveshitam. Na eva ishitum. It is never certainly. Eva is certainly ishitum to control. Prabhur bhomna. Prabhu is the capable bhomna of the supreme. Ishvaro dham maninam. Ishvara is again control dhammana of those who are body conscious. Those who are body conscious. Dhamma maninam. It's in the translation. कालोऽयं परमाणु आदिः द्विपरार्धान्तद् ईश्वरः नैवेशितं प्रभुर्भोम्न ईश्वरधाम्नमानिनाम् ईश्वरधाममानिनाम्. So translation, eternal time is certainly the controller of different dimensions from that of the atom up to the super divisions of the duration of Brahma's life. But nevertheless, it is controlled by the Supreme. Time can control only those who are body conscious, even up to the Satyaloka or the other planets of the universe. Okay, there is no purport for this shloka. So again, it comes in the again number of times it is mentioned. It affects एतद्देशनिमेषस्य प्रकृस्तोऽपि तद्गुणैः न युज्यते सदा आत्मस्थैः यदा बुद्धिः तदा ह्रिया. In the Bhagavatam, the first canto, in the chapter 11, Suta Goswami mentioning that whenever Krishna comes to the Dwaraka at the time, he enjoys with all his with his wives and children like that. So during that time, he mentions that Lord, even if he comes here, the nature does not work on the Lord. And then similarly, devotees who are holding on to the lotus feet of the Lord, even they were also not affected by the material nature. So, एतद् एषणमीशस्य प्रकृस्तोऽपि तद्गुणैः न युज्यते सदा आत्मस्थैः. Sada atmastaihi, they are situated in the transcendence. Sada atmastaihi yada buddhihi tada shriya. And similar to the devotees, yata buddhihi, who are always thinking of the Lord. Sadhu hrudayam mahyam sadhunam hrudayam tvaham madanitya na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. Devotees always, they are always in the heart of the Lord. Lord is in the heart of the devotees. Lord does not know anyone except the devotees. Devotees do not know except the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the relationship. Because of those reasons, yata buddhihi tada shriya. And even they were not impacted by the material nature or the time factor. And then Saunaka says, Ayur Haritavai Pumsam Ujjinstam Jennasau Tasyadhi Achurunita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Everyone's life is being taken out by the sunrise and sunset. So it is just in a blink of time, we see how many days and how many months and then how many it's getting passed on and bodies are getting changed. People still are trying to engage themselves in different materialistic activities, but their bodies are getting degraded. Gradually, health and the pains, it is dwindling. It's called dwindling. But devotees who always discuss the Tasyadhir Chunonita Uttama Shloka Vartaya, except the devotees who are discussing the transcendental topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. everyone's lifespan is taken out by the sunrise and sunset. Again, and in another shloka again, Nate Ajraksha Brahmirayuresham Trayodasharam Trishatam Sasti Parva Shatnimi Anantichedi Yetrinabihi Karala Sroto Jagadache Jadavat. Kardama Prajapati prays in his again. It is described time is Nate Ajraksha Brahmirayuresham. So Nate except those, and he gives everything else. Nate Ajra Akshibhramirayuresham Trayodasharam Trisatam Sasti Parva. So 360 spokes Trayodasharam Trisatam Sasti Parva. So again it is describing about the time wheel there. It is rotating very fastly. Ache Jadavat Karala Srota Jagat Ache Jadavat. It rotating very fastly on top of this universe and taking the lifespan of everyone, all the living entities of this material world. But the time does not work on the Lord and his devotees, but only people who are all Dhamamaninam. Dhamamaninam. They come under control of the time factor. So Kaloyam Paramanadihi Dviparardhant Ishvaraha Naiveshitam Prabhurbhomna Ishvaro Dhamamaninam. But in the Vaikuntha planet, so what is the highest perfection? In the Sri Brahma Vayutta Mahapurana, it describes the glories of the Vaishnavas, glories of Krishna, glories of his devotees. It is so wonderful there. Becoming a Vaishnava is the perfection of human life. Becoming a Vaishnava is perfection of human life. And then what happens to Vaishnava? He is always singing the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the glories. So again, there are three different kinds of transcendentalists. So from the Vaishnava perspective, one are the yogis, and second is the santas who are associating with the sanghas, and the third one is the Vaishnavas who are always engaging in the devotional services. Okay, so these are the three kinds, but it also mentions that one should not discriminate those three categories: santas, yogis, and the devotees. Okay, so that is becoming a Vaishnava is the perfection of human life. They are vasanti yatra purushaha sarve vaikunta muttayaha ye animitta nimittena dharmena aradayan harim. Once they go to the Vaikuntha planets, so there they enjoy and always worshipping the Supreme. Ye animitta nimittena dharmena aradayan harim. Always worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, glorifying in so many ways. Okay, that is beautiful. Again, that the dhammas are also described the how Vaikuntha planet is Koti Yojanas length, something like that. Dimensions of the Vaikuntha planets, dimensions of the Kailasa. On top of Goloka Vrindavana, it is 3 crore yojanas. It is the topmost planet. It is so many times bigger than the Vaikuntha planets. Those dimensions are given. Okay, those glory, that is Brahma Vaivarta Purana. A Vaishnava must read this Brahma Vaivarta Mahapurana. It is all glorious, though it is not the topmost literature, but it is always glorious when the devotees are hearing about Krishna. It is so beautiful, pastimes are embedded in there. And again, it gives the time factors also a little bit of time for the Vaishnava's understanding. Though time does not influence, even for ourselves, if we take the 500 years, it is like unlimited for it. Even 120 years. In this planet, if one is living 120 years, he would have seen so many people taking birth and dying. That itself is like eternal for 120 years old. But we are talking about unlimited. Okay, so that is the glories of the Vaishnavas. So this time factor acts only on the people who are body conscious, not on the devotees or Vaishnavas or on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. न च कालविक्रमः प्रवर्तते यत्र रजस्तमस्तयोः सत्त्वं शमिश्रं न च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किं मुतापरे हरेर् अनुरत यत्र सुर असुर अर्चिताः. Even though in the Vaikuntha planets, asuras, even though asuras are also there, they are also architaha, engaging in the devotional service of the Lord. How do we understand that? How could demons would exist in the Vaikuntha planets? There is no influence of the demonic nature. Three material modes of nature does not work means even the demons are there, they're always in cooperation. For example, when we go to the temple here in this material world itself, so many people will come. Sometimes not non-devotees also come. But as soon as they come, because into the temple premises, the three material modes of nature does not work there. Everyone are in cooperation and serving to the Lord. It is our practical experience. As soon as we go into the temple, everyone becomes calm and quiet. Their natures are not exhibited. That is the Vaikuntha atmosphere. So here Maitreya Muni is mentioning Kaloyam paramanu adi Diparardhant Ishvaraha Naiva Ishitam Prabhurbhumna Ishvaro Damamaninam. Okay, so can I request all devotees to follow the line by line recitation for this? Kaloyam paramanu adir
कालोऽयं परमाणु आदि
Viparadhant Ishvaraha
द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः
Naiveshitam Prabhurbhumna
नैविष्टं प्रभुर्भुम्ना
Ishvaro Damamaninam.
ईश्वरो धाममानिनाम्.
Again. Kaloyam paramanu adir
कालोऽयं
परमाणु आदि
Dviparadhanta Ishvaraha
द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः
Naiveshitam Prabhurbhumna
नैवेशितं प्रभुर्भुम्ना
Ishvaro Damamaninam.
ईश्वरो धाममानिनाम्.
Once more. Kaloyam paramanu adir
कालोऽयं परमाणु आदि
Dviparadhanta Ishvaraha
द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः
Naiveshitam Prabhurbhumna
नैवेशितं प्रभुर्भुम्ना
Ishvaro Dhamamaninam.
ईश्वरो धाममानिनाम्.
Very beautiful. Okay, can I request devotees kindly take it and recite? Usha Mataji, would you like to go first?
कालोऽयं परमाणुवादी द्विपरातन्त ईश्वरः नैवेशितुं प्रभुर्भुम्ना ईश्वरो ताममानिनाम्.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Kaloyam Paramanam Vadi Dripadanta Isaraha Naivesitum Prabhurbhurnamna Isaro Dhamamaninam. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Can recite. Yeah, Krishna.
Prabhavati Sati Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी. कालोऽयं परमाणु आदिर् द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः नैवेशितुं प्रभुर्भुम्ना ईश्वरो धाममानिनाम्.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Meena Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण. कालोऽयं परमान् आदि द्विपरादान्त ईश्वरः नैवेशितुं प्रभु ब्रह्म ईश्वरो धाम मानिनाम्.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Hemlata Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everyone. कालो अयं परमाणु आदिर् द्विपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः नैवेष्टं प्रभुर्भुम्ना ईश्वरो धाम मानिनाम्. हरे कृष्णा.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु कालोऽयं परमाणु आदिर्दिविपरार्धान्त ईश्वरः नैवेशितुं प्रभुर्भुम्न ईश्वरो ताममानिनाम्.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Jai Mataji, please.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Kaloyam paramanu adir dviparardhanta ishvaraha naiveshitam prabhur bhumna ishvaro dhama maninam. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Lalita Devi Mataji, please.
हरे कृष्ण devotees, हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी कालोऽयं परमाणु आदिर् द्विप्रार्धान्त ईश्वरः नैवेष्टिं प्रभुर्भुम्ना ईश्वरो धाममानिनाम्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
Very nice. Also, would you like to read the translation, Mataji?
Sure प्रभुजी, thank you. External time is certainly the controller of different dimensions, from that of the atom up to the super divisions of the duration of Brahma's life, but nevertheless it is controlled by the Supreme. It is controlled by the Supreme. Time can control only those who are body conscious, even up to the Satyaloka or the other higher planets of the universe. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Again, so there is one more shloka comes in the before. This is the one animation of the Supreme Personality of God. Brahma's time is mentioned as the one animation. That one here from the Sri Brahma Samhita. यस्यैक निःश्वसित कालमतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमा विलजा जगदण्डनादाः विष्णुर्महान् सह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Also, can I request everyone to recite this shloka as well? Line by line, follow devotees. यस्यैक निःश्वसित कालमतावलम्ब्य
एषेका निसवन्त कलमा
Nishvasikalam athavalambya
अथवमूलम्
जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनादाः
जीवन्ति
Jivanti loma vilaja
जगन्नाथ
jagadandanatha
विष्णुर्महान् साह्ययस्य कलाविशेषो
विष्णुर्महान्
महान् स
yasya kala vishesu
विशेषु
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं
Adipurusham
तमहं भजामि.
Once again. यस्यैकनिःश्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य
yasyeka
कलमं
निःश्वसितकालम athavalambya
भवला
जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनादाः
जीवन्ति
Jivanti loma
विलजा
vilaja
जगन्नन्दनाथ
jagadandanatha
विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो
विष्णुर्महान् स
Saya
इहेयस्य
yasya kala
कलाविशेषु
vishesho
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Once more. यस्यैकनिःश्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य
यस्य
yasyeka
एकनिष्ठकालं
niःश्वसितकाlam athavalambya
जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनादाः
जीवन्ति
Jivanti loma vilaja
लोमविलजाजगन्नन्दनाथ
jagadandanatha
विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो
Vishnur
महान् स
Mahan Saiha
इहेयस्य
Yasya Kala
कलाविशेषु
Vishesho
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं
तमहं
तमहं
भजामि.
Very beautiful. Can I request devotees again to recite this shloka? Lalita Mataji, would you like to go, Mataji?
Prabhuji, first line I'm struggling, Prabhuji, sorry.
Yasyaika nisvasita.
यस्यैक निःश्वसित कलामतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोम जीवन्ति लोम विलाज जगदानन्दनाथः विष्णुर्महान् सहित वैश्यकाल विशेषो गोविन्द आदिपुरुषं तमदाहं भजामि.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. You can try at the end when after all the devotees.
Please, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I will try last. The first line I'm struggling, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Jai Mataji, would you like to go?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll try. यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालम् अथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कला विशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तम् अहं भजामि. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Yes, Prabhu, I try. Just यस्यैव कनिष्वसितां कलाम् अथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कला विशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Prabhavati Mataji, are you available?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालं यत् अथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथः विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Thank you, Prabhu.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Meena Mataji, please.
यशि का निश्वास कलम अथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमा विलाजत जगत अनंतनाथ विष्णु महान स इह यश कला विशेषु गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमहं भजामि.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Asha Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
यशैगनिश्वसितकालम् अदावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनादा विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Garingi Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yasekaniswasitakalam mathavalambya जीवन्ति लोमविलाजा जगदण्डनाथा विष्णुर्महानसायः यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Lalita Devi Mataji, would you like to go now?
Sure, Prabhuji, I can try. यस्यैक निःश्वसित कलामतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोम विलजा नन्दनाथः विष्णुर्महान् सहितै यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमदाहं भजामि. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji, mistakes.
No, Mataji. When we are reciting, we need to take a deep breath and go slowly. Then it will come very rhythmically. First, take a deep breath and then slowly breathe.
Okay.
यस्यैकनिःश्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य
यस्यैकनिश्वैसितकलामतवलम्ब्य
कालम्
कालम्
अतावलम्ब्य
अतावलम्ब्य
कालम् अतावलम्ब्य
कालमतावलम्ब्य
जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनादाः
जीवन्ति लोमा विलजा जगदानन्दनाथः
जगदण्डनादाः
जगदण्डनाथः
नादाः
नाथः जगदण्डनाथः
नादाः
नाथः
there is
नाथः
prolonged A, there is a prolonged A. नादाः
नाथः नाथः
okay. विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो
विष्णुमहान् सहित यस्य कलाविशेषो
स इह कला स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो
विष्णुर्महान् सहित सैह यस्य कलाविशेषो
स इह
इह ओके स ओके विष्णुर्महान् स इह वै यस्य कलाविशेषो
गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि
गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तमदाहं भजामि
तमहं भजामि
तमहं भजामि
अहं भजामि
तम अहं भजामि
तम् अहं भजामि
तम अहं भजामि.
Very beautiful. Would you like to try, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhuji. यस्यैकनिश्वैषितकलामतावलम्ब्या जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदन्दनाथः विष्णुर्महान् सहित वै यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दम् आदिपुरुषं तम् अहं भजामि.
Very beautiful. Very nice, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is calculated, even Brahma's lifespan, it is as much as a nimesha, less than a second of the Supreme. It's not a, it is for our calculations perspective, for our understanding perspective. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We should move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today letter to Vamanadeva, March 25th, 1971, Bombay. It is a small letter. Lalita Mataji, would you like to read this letter, Mataji?
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving an opportunity. My dear Vamananda Deva, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your ISKCON's St. Louis letter, newsletter with enclosed note dated 9th February 1971 and have noted the contents. I am so glad to hear your program is steadily expanding in St. Louis and how you are regularly making universe engagements and are being so well received. Actually, these college students have all been misguided. Without Krishna consciousness, all their book learning amounts to zero. Simply, if they will add Krishna consciousness to their curriculum, all their endeavors will know perfection. So it is so important that we distribute our books, especially in the schools and colleges, because anyone who reads them is sure to become Krishna conscious. So make your program in that way, and Krishna will surely help you. You have got so many Tulsi plants there, very nice, so you can grow more. Is the climate suitable for growing? Hawal is undoubtedly suitable, but St. Louis also. Anyway, it is growing, and that is the Mother Tulsi great favor. Mother Tulsi's great favor. Please offer my blessings to others there, hoping this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami A.C. B.S. A.D.B.S.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, in this letter?
So first thing, he was giving blessings to that devotee, Vamana Deva. That is first thing, and he was expecting a letter from him. It seems like that has not been done. So that is what he just reminding on the first line, and noted some contents. What I am not sure, and he was so happy, Srila Prabhupada, because he is organizing a program steadily expanding in soon St. Louis. It's a college, I think, making so he's I think that devotee is making some engagement to the students, arranging some Krishna conscious program in the college, it seems. So for that he's so happy. And these colleges, and he was writing these colleges be misguided. The students has been misguided about Krishna consciousness, but you are doing the good program. So that means you are uh, you are making the students in right path. That's something like, that's what I understood. When you engaging the students in Krishna consciousness, steadily they will, that misconscious guidance will go away. So all their book learning amounts to zero. Okay, so the whatever they learn from the books is zero. So that's correct, right? Simply, if they will add Krishna consciousness to their curriculum, and their endeavors will know perfection. So that's what. So whatever we learned, he was mentioning like whatever they learned from the books, it's like get zero, that knowledge. So the adding Krishna consciousness to the curriculum will give you perfection to their a life, as well as that is what endeavors that gives the full perfection. That is what I understood, Prabhuji. So and and he is mentioning what is the importance of distribution of books, okay, in schools and colleges. So that is one thing. Another line. So it's more important distributing the books in schools and colleges, because the students who are that grows at the right place, it has to be started. That's the reason he was mentioning, like, yeah, so that it has to start from that place. um, so whoever reads that Krishna book, they become like a Krishna conscious. So that's the right age the kids to adapt, right, Prabhuji? That could be the reason he is recommending you distributing books from that place, schools and colleges.
Yes.
So make your program in that way, and Krishna will surely help you. So yeah, that is what other thing. So if you do that way, Krishna will be blessed and be happy, and will be eh, pleased. So that is another thing. And he was asking about the Tulsi plants. I think the devotees living different like us. So he was the Tulsi plants. You have got so many Tulsi plants, very nice. So you can grow more. Or is the climate suitable? That is again he was checking. So he was placed about the growing Tulsi plants. His place, that is one thing. Another thing, yeah, and he's checking whether the climate is suitable for growing more Tulsi plants over there. That's the thing. That's it from Zail. I understood. Please add. Please feel free to add, Prabhuji. My would be missed many things.
Thank you, Mataji. You did very beautifully summarize all this. Okay.
One thing I have to add, Prabhuji, I heard even in schools in India also they started in the curriculum Krishna Bhagavad Gita. I hope you are aware of that one thing. Yeah, government announced it's bringing the in their curriculums in India.
Which states, Mataji?
In India, Prabhuji.
A particular state or entire India?
Entire India. That's Modi has announced it's a couple of months ago. So when it whether it started or not sure. But yeah, that's what been his plans. He already declared that one.
Very nice. Thank you. Nice to hear, Mataji.
Yes, I heard it too. I thought it was all over as well.
Excellent. That is a good start.
Actually,
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So generally, this modern education is being deviated. So again, one is not cultivating the divine qualities and simply just going to school, studying books, and then writing exams, getting a job, and living like a animal lives. That is really condemnable life like that. And going to the industrialization, that is condemnable. Without Krishna consciousness, everything is zero. We are just adding to 2 zeros, 3 zeros, 4 zeros, up to so many zeros. This is all completely nonsensical. Again, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he said, Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantir arjavam acharyopasanam saucham stairyam atma vinigraha indriyardeshu vairagyam anahankara evacha जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम असक्तिरण विस्वंगः पुत्रदारा गृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिर्व्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् अरतिर्जन संसदि अध्यात्मज्ञान नित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्धदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यदतो अन्यथा एतज्ज्ञानम् all this Krishna describing this is jnanam, that is the knowledge. Ajnanam yadato anyata, everything is ajnana, which is not which Krishna has not spoken, that is ajnana. That is what in this material world all the schools, corporates, everyone are teaching the children to work more and more and more, but for whom they are giving work more, but they do not give that enlightenment. That is ajnanam. So here, in such a way, all students have been misguided in the schools and colleges. They will put some sectarian religions and then say, oh, this faith is that, oh, that faith is that. But none of them, they do not give the actual spiritual realization. All of them, they are sectarian. But it is spiritual knowledge must be completely transcendental and sublime. That is only Krishna consciousness. It gives a practical realization. It is a practical way of life. So all this knowledge is embedded within the Krishna consciousness books. Whoever reads them, they will become Krishna consciousness, surely. And whoever is working to spread those words, Krishna will definitely help. Okay, that again devotees will practically see in their lives who are trying to uh, spread the words of Krishna. Krishna is behind them always. Again, Tulsi plants. So in this country, in UK, we see Tulsi plants are growing here, but sometimes which will be very difficult to retain the Tulsi leaves at some part of the year when there is a too cold and when we overwater it or less water it, and there may be pests and so many things. But here, the Hawaii is the most undoubtedly suitable, but Prabhupada is asking in St. Louis as well, is it a convenient environment? Again, if Tulsi is growing, that is Mother Tulsi's great favor. Then we see our devotion also grows. Wherever there is a Tulsi Mother, our devotion is also, it grows. This is the kind of our reflections. Okay, but there are again based on the seasons and time. So sometimes, so Tulsi Mata, we must be very careful. Okay, to maintain Tulsi Devi. Okay, that is from my takeaway from this letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Saturday. Okay, today evening we have got Chaitanya Charitamrita at 7 p.m. Okay, that is our upcoming event. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything, kindly update. Otherwise, we shall move on to the next part, Shri Brahma Samhita. And also, devotees have got some questions or some doubts in the weekdays. Some of them have asked about the Brahma's lifespan, Kalpa, something like that. If you have got still those questions not clear those doubts, so then kindly ask those questions. Otherwise, we shall move on to the Shri Brahma Samhita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And Pranam.
Pranam.
There was a Brahma life is like is in two, divided by two, like isn't like 50 years and 50 years.
Yes.
So there is one half life is finished. So within that half, where all the Satyug and everything, all use comes within that.
Yes, Brahma's one day itself, the 12 hours of Brahma, that contains 1,000 yuga cycles. Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Likewise, 1,000 yuga cycles within 12 hours of Brahma. Again, later on, 12 hours is night time, annihilation is there. And likewise, he will live like one day, one full day, and then like his 15 days, 1 month, and then 1 year. Likewise, he will live for 50 years. That means we cannot even imagine that many number of yoga cycles have been passed in up to 50 years. And then next 50 years is another paranta in the similar way. Likewise, he will live totally 100 years. Shatayuhu.
So like there is another 150 years is finished and we are in, and it is a half is finished, so it's other now is started, isn't it?
Yes, already his work crossed 50 years.
Yeah, so it started from Kali Yuga, like another half life.
It starts from the Kruta Yuga, Mataji.
Yeah, it's Satya Yuga, isn't it? But then why he said like currently is started another half? So why he said in the sloka?
In the shloka, Maitreya Muni says, now we are present, Brahma is in his second half of. For example, if I say, I am in that, in some particular age, something like that, then it may be few days past and year already started like that. So he did not give exact, oh, this is the day, but Srila Prabhupada mentions that in the month of March, something like that, there is a Ugadi, the new year starts, the Vedic new year. That is the starting of Brahma's life. In the purport, there we see Srila Prabhupada was describing there. Okay, so this is the birth date of Brahma is in the month of March. This is generally Ugadi. Ugadi, it is Yuga Adi, beginning of the Yugas. Hare Krishna Mataji.
And also like one small question, like when Brahma came as Haridas Thakur in Kali Yuga, so like at that time there was is over there his place is empty or some other is Brahma take place.
It is not that Brahma is personally come here. For example,
Okay.
his expansions, his
Okay.
amsas would go there.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
And for example, if in the Ramayana, we also see that Sugriva is the Amsha of Lord Surya. And even the Vyasdeva is the expansion of the Supreme. Kala Visheshu. Likewise, Brahma is also his Amshas, Haridas Thakur. And we also see that Yudhishthira, Vidura is again in the, he is actually Yamadharmaraja, means he is the Amsha of the Yamadharmaraja.
Same thing was like Parsad came with, like when Chaitanya Prabhu came, like, there was Advaita Acharya, which is a Sivji, and like, so there was answer like that, isn't it?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Murari Gupta is like Hanumanji, and like, but they all answer.
Yes, they're all amshas.
Mhm.
But in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, so there it is mentioned, na Chaitanyant Krishna Jagati Paratatvam Paramiha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna, he himself. Likewise, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Yad Advaitam Brahmopanishid Tadapyasya Tanubha Ya Atmantaryami Purusha iti so Ashamsha Vibhavaha. They're all expansions of the Supreme Paramatma and effulgence of the Lord. They're all Yad Ashamsha Vibhavaha. Shadaishwaryaihi Purno, with all six opulences, Shadaishwaryaihi Purno, Yaiha Bhagavan, in this material world, the Bhagavan Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Na Chaitanyat Krishna Jagati Paratatvam Paramaha. He is none other than Krishna himself. He is now present.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is himself Krishna, not us. It's just himself.
Yes, he himself is Krishna.
Okay.
Likewise,
But Gadadhar Pandit, which is came Radharani, they all answer as well. But only just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Jay Mataji had one question, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. It was mostly I think, I've forgotten now. I think it was to do with Varadev coming out of Brahma's nostril.
Yeah.
And I was just asking if it was the same incarnation, because here it was something like that Brahma came at a different, it happened simultaneously, but from before it looked like Brahma came first and then Varadev came afterwards from his nostril. But from what we were reading, it looked a bit like Brahma just was born. I've forgotten which verse it is now, Prabhuji, I'm sorry. And I know there are two, we talked about two avatars of Varadev, so I was just trying to figure out whether it was the red one, the Shwet one, or is that there was a difference? Or, okay, let's read this again.
This is 36 Mataji, I think. So here,
it said something about the birth of Brahma, but then also then it said same time Vara came, something like that it was.
so it goes like this. So in this parartha, of course, there are so many pararthas and so many kalpas. I mean, two pararthas. In the previous parartha, Padma kalpa, Brahma kalpa. So those were described. Now it is like a current second parartha, that is where Varahadeva Bhagavan appeared. So this is Ayam tu kadita kalpo dvitiyasyapi bharata. In the second part, dvitiyasyapi bharata Varaha iti vikyato yatra asi sukuro harihi. This is Varaha Bhagavan has appeared in this millennium. And in this millennium, and there are two Varahas, as you have mentioned. The first one is the Yajna Varaha, Shweta Varaha Yajna. That's why it is also called Varaha Kalpa. And that is whenever Swayambhumanu was created, and then Brahma asked him to expand. So, but there is no earth, and it was sunken in the water. And the Brahma was contemplating. At that time, from the nostril, Varaha Bhagavan has appeared. So that's why it is called Varaha Kalpa. And then within the same Varaha Kalpa itself, we are in the same Varaha Kalpa, in the same day of Brahma. In the same day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. Out of the 14 Manus, the first Manu is the Swayambhu Manu. And then we are now in the 7th Manvantara. This is Vaivasvata Manvantara. Everything is Varaha Kalpa only. Within this Varaha Kalpa, in the 6th, at the end of the Chakshusha Manvantara, there was inundation. At the time, there is a Matsya Avatar has appeared. And then, so later on, there is a another Varaha also appeared. It is second Varaha. So here, how do we understand? So Kashyapa Prajapati and Diti Mata. So they are all in the current Manvantara, Vaivashita Manvantara. And their children, Diti Mata's children, the Hiranyakshipu and Hiranyaksha, they have appeared during that time as the demons. At that time, again, another Varaha Bhagavan has, that is a different color, that is Ratnavarnam. It's a reddish. And at that time, he killed Hiranyaksha. That one we would discuss these pastimes in the 14th chapter. So, but whenever Maitreya Muni was mentioning about this second Varaha, first Varaha, he has amalgamated. In the first Varaha is Yajna Varaha, Shweta Varaha, but that another Varaha is the reddish color. He has amalgamated. Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. Let us see that one. It gives in the 13th chapter. Appearance of Lord Varaha. Let us go to that word exam. Maitreya Muni amalgamated both board incarnations in different devastations and summarized them in this description to Vidura. This is the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti suggests that. So this is one is the namely Chakshusha devastation and Swayambhuva devastation. This particular appearance of both incarnation actually took place in the Swayambhuva devastation. This is Yajna Varaha, the Shweta Varaha. We are in the Varaha Kalpa, when all the planets, other than the higher ones like Jana, Mahara, and Satya, merged in the water of devastation. But at that time, he mentioned that Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha. But how do we understand? How do Hiranyaksha would exist before Swayambhu itself, or when there is no? So that is the question. So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti suggests that this is at the end of the Chaksha Manvantara. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes.
You can take this word, amalgamation.
Yes, yeah. I think the timeline, some didn't quite match, and I think for simplicity, maybe so that we keep it simple and understand it better, is amalgamated it. I think.
Yes. And similarly, not only this one, even there are so many of Lord Buddha incarnations. And one is sometimes we see Anjana Sutta son is the Buddha. Tataha kalo sampururte samoha sudvisham Buddho namna Anjana Sutaha kekateshu bhavishyati. That is actual Buddha, the Supreme Lord incarnation. But there is another Buddha, son of Mayavati, who is called Gautama Buddha. That is not the incarnation, but people treat. But there are so many incarnations. So if you just go and read Buddha scriptures, that Prabhupada is also mentioned, of course, in the Veda base itself. There are so many Buddhas. They will also say in the similar way. And similarly, so many Matsya incarnations. Keep on, that is Avatara hi asankhyeya hari he sattu nididvijaha yada vidasinha pulyaha sarasaha syuhu sahasrashaha innumerable. There keep on coming. We are seeing very few because we are all tiny brains, so we can understand few. Even we do not know what we have done yesterday. What to speak of the our lives itself. What to speak of the millenniums and yugas and kalpas. That's why Sarasahasyuhu Sahasrashaha, like a big from the big ocean, and if there is a small rivers that keep coming, like why so many connections keep on coming. It will be too much for us. So it is simply better to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. And also one point, Ram Lala Prabhuji was also mentioning about there is one particular line, 30 days make 1 month of Brahma, beginning from the full moon to the disappearance of the moon. So Brahma's lifespan is higher than the moon, but it is for our perceptions, not that Brahma is going to have calculated from 15 days of moon. It is for our understanding, like we calculate. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, any other questions? Otherwise we shall move on to Shri Brahma Samhita. Okay, so coming back to Shri Brahma Samhita. We are in the Shri Brahma Samhita. Can anyone say the first shloka of Shri Brahma Samhita?
Prabhuji, I'm just moving to another room. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes,
I'll do it later.
can anyone say the first
Hi,
shloka?
Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhu, okay. चिन्तामणि प्रकरसात्मसुकल्पवृक्षा लक्षावृतेषु Prabhu, I had सम्भ्रमसेव्यमानं Lakshmi Sahas Lakshmi. Can I speak, Prabhu? Lakshmi Sahasrasadhasam Sambhamana Sevyamanan Govindamadi Purusam Bhajami. Sorry, Prabhu, I had to pick. I don't remember. Chintamani Prakarasadma Sukalpas Vriksa Lakshavritesu Surabhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasam Brahma Sevyamanam Govindamadipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Sorry, Prabhu, I couldn't remember all of them. So
Very beautiful, Mataji. Very nicely
I
said.
try, Prabhu, to memorize this.
Uh,
Thank you, Prabhu.
yes, let me just take one of it. I will put them into a field as well. So, times. Okay, so this is, we got now everything is in Hindi. So the first shloka of Shri Brahma Samhita. Can anyone say this one without looking?
I can, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I think I can. Ishwaram Paramas Ishwara Paramashi Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha and Anadi Adir Govindam Govindam, no, Sri Krishna. Sorry. I know this, but when I come here, I go into pieces. Ishwar Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiya Dir Govindam Sarva Karana Karanam. Think.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Garinga Mataji.
Is this sloka reciting, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Without looking.
Okay. Isharaha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam.
Very beautiful, very nice. Any devotees wanted to try without looking?
Yes, Prabhu, I can.
Thanks, Mataji.
Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else?
I'll try.
Yes, Mataji.
Ishwara, sorry, Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll just try.
Yes, Mataji.
Ishwara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Govinda Adi Govinda. Sorry. Ishwara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam.
Very nice. So beautiful. Okay, so, and then coming down to I think it is putting something only it gave up to 5 shlokas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let us go to
This is from chapter 18, chapter 5,
yes, Mataji.
Bhagavatam, chapter 5, and which canto?
This is Sri Brahma Samhita.
Oh, it's a Brahma Samhita. Okay. Okay.
So this is the next is the 32 shloka in the Sri Brahma Samhita. So Chintamani Prakara, we have covered Chintamani Prakara, the beautiful palaces, and so many cows are there, and so many goddesses of fortune serving the Lord. That one. Next one is the Vedam Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayakam Barahavatam Sammasidam Bhula Sundarangam Kandarpakodikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajan. That is beautiful Krishna. Okay. That one we have seen this one, Venum Kvadantam. And then next is the Alola Chandrakalahdvanamalya Vamsi Ratnangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribhangalalitam Neta Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shyamam Tribhangalalitam Neta Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. This one, again, we have seen this shloka as well. And then 32 shloka is the about describing the different limbs of the Lord, Angani. So all his, every limb of the Lord works all kinds of functions in all dimensions. Angani yasya sakala indriya vrittimanti. One indriya works functions of all other senses. Pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. So this is one of the shloka we hear in the early morning in the darshanarati time. One is the Venu Panantam, and then this one Angani. Yeah, these two shlokas. Okay, so we shall go on the see this shloka. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So maybe I can request devotees to read that is a big word. Synonyms and shloka, synonyms and translation. Anyone would like to go?
Sorry, what did you say, Prabhuji?
Yeah, anyone would like to recite the shloka, synonyms and translation? Mataji?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji, can go.
Oh, sorry, Shama. No, you go on, please.
Otherwise, we all do the shloka once and then one devotee do the synonyms and translation. Okay, can I request all devotees follow line by line? Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti
pashyanti panti kalayanti jaganti
Ananda chinmaya sudujjvala vigrahasya
Ananda chinmaya
Vigrahasya
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti
Pashyanti panti
Panti
kalayanti
Kalayanti
chiram
Chiram
jaganti
Jaganti
Ananta chinmaya
Ananda chinmaya sudujjvala vigrahasya
Ananda chinmaya sudajjvala vigrahasya
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Once more. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti
pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti
Pashyanti panti kalayanti
Chiram
jaganti
Jaganti
Ananda chinmaya sudujjvala vigrahasya
Ananda chinmaya
Sadujvala Vigrahasya
sudajjvala
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindam Adipurusham
Tamaham
Tamaham Bhajami.
Very nice. Can I request devotees take a turn to recite? No. Keep coming back to this. Jai Mataji, would you like to go first, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Can I try the one day Yamuna Mataji sings?
Yes, Mataji, please.
I can try. It's actually quite hard, actually. But she made it so easy. I'll give it a go. Angani yasya sakalen driya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadhu jwala vigrahasya govindam adipurusham tamham bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. It's something like that. But because when we read it, we wouldn't split the words, but she has. So where we say Angani Yasya, we would say Sakalendriya straight, but she has a slight break after Saklen, and then she says Driya Vritti Manti, so that it goes in a tune like that. That's how she has done. And the second line is difficult as well, how she climbs up step by step. Yeah, it's quite clever. But yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Very beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone want to go? Daringi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Okay. Can I sing like Mataji, Jai Mataji? Little bit. I can do that. Yeah. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadhu jwala vigrahasya govindam adipurasam Tamaham bhajami Govindam Adipurusam Tamaham bhajami. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Very beautiful, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Meena Mataji, want to go?
Hare Krishna. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananta chinmaya sadujjval vigrahasya govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Very beautiful, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Osha Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I'll try Prabhu that tune. Angani yasya sakalendriyavrittimanti Pashyanti panti kalyanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya govindam adipurushan tamaham bhajami govindam adipurushan tamaham bhajami. Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Very nice, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, can I request also read the synonyms and translations? Anyone, please?
Can I do that?
Yes, Mataji.
Means the limbs, yashya of whom, sakala indriya of all the organs, vritti manti possessing the functions, pashyanti see, panti maintain, kalyanti manifest, chiram eternally, jaganti the universes, Ananda bliss, Chit truth, Maya full of substantiality, Ujjvala full of dazzling splendor, Vigrahasya whose form, Govinda, Adi Purusham, the original person, Tam him, Aham it, Bhajami worship. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figures possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally since maintains and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, so the Lord, each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possess in himself the full-fledged functions of all organs and eternally see, maintains and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. Okay, so that is the beauty of the Lord. Okay, and then we shall go to the purport. Again, it looks the purport is a little bit big. We can take into chunks. Can I request Gaurangi Mataji to read this purport up to here? Gaurangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay. Hare Krishna. For want of a taste of things spiritual, a grave debate arises in the minds of those who are enchained by worldly knowledge. On hearing a narration of the pastime Krishna, they think that the truth tattva regarding Krishna is the mental conclusion of certain learned scholars created by their imaginative brains out of material drawn from the mundane principle, with the object of removing this harmful duet. Brahma in this and there following sloka after distinguishing between the two things, which spirit and matter, in a rational manner, has tried to make one understand the pure Leela of Krishna, obtained by his unmixed executed trance. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sorry for
Thank you,
read
Mataji.
mistake, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request next devotee to take it and to read up to here? Appreciate it.
May I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Brahma wants to say that the form of Krishna is all existence, all knowledgeable, all knowledge and all bliss, whereas all mundane experiences are full of palpable ignorance. Although there is specific difference between the two, the fundamental truth is that spiritual affairs constitute the absolute source. Specification and variegatedness are ever present in it. By them are established the transcendental abode, form, name, quality, and sports of Krishna. It is only by a person possessed of pure spiritual knowledge and freedom from any relationship with Maya that those amorous pastime of Krishna can at all be appreciated. Hare Krishna, thank you. Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai.
Jai, thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request next another devotee to read up to here? Up to here.
I'll try to. Can I get it?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, very good. The spiritual abode, the state of pastimes, pastime emanated from the chitta potency and uh, format at Sarvabhaida classes of Chintamani, transcendental philosopher's stone, and the figure of Krishna are all spiritual, just as Maya is the prevented uh, reflection of the spiritual potency. The variegatedness created by Maya ignorance is also a perverted reflection of spiritual variegatedness. So, a mere semblance of the spiritual variegatedness is only noticed in this mundane world. Um not notwithstanding such semblance, the two are wholly different from one another. The unwholesomeness of matter is its defect, but in the spirit there is variegatedness which is free from any fault of contamination. And the soul and the body of Krishna are identical, where the holy and soul between the limbs and that uh, proprietors. That's it, Prabhu. You want me to read more, Prabhu? Oh,
Uh,
fallen creatures of Prabhu, yeah.
yeah, read little bit more,
Yeah,
Mataji.
whereas the body and soul of fallen creatures are not so so. In the spiritual sphere, there is no such difference as that between the body and soul, between the limbs and their proprietors, between the attributes and the objects processing them of this world, but such a difference really exists in the case of conditioned souls. That's it, sir. Can you say? Oh,
Yeah, up to this point, Mataji. Continue.
okay, okay. Limbed through Krishna. Krishna is his every limb in the whole entity.
Thank you, Mataji. We got Jagriti and Mata is joined. Hare Krishna Jagriti Mataji. Would you like to read Mataji? Okay, if Mataji is not available. Okay, can another devotee take a turn to read?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
He performs all varieties of He performs all varieties of divine spiritual function with every one of his limbs. Hence, he is on an invisible, whole, and a perfect transcendental entity. Both Jiva, soul, and Krishna are transcendental. So they belong to the same category, but they differ they differ in this that the transcendental attributes exist in the jiva soul in infinitesimally small degree, whereas in in Krishna they are found in their fullest perfection. Those attributes manifest themselves in their proper infinitesimality only when the jiva soul attains his unadulterated spiritual states. The jiva soul attains the nearest approach to the absolute identity only when the spiritual force of ecstasy energy appears in him. By the grace of Krishna, still Krishna remained the object of universal homage by reason of his possession of certain unique attributes. These fourfold universal attributes do not manifest themselves in Narayana, the Lord, Vaikuntha or in previous Purusha avatars or in the highest deities such as Shiva, not to speak of Jivas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So in this purport, it is kind of a full of spiritual variegatedness. This again, when in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about Sarvataha Panipadam Tad Sarvato Krisiro Mukham Sarvataha Srimalloke Sarvam Avritya Tishtati Sarvam Avritya Tishtati. So like I think it is comes to Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. There he says in the so this is not this one, I think next shloka. Sarvatah Panipadam Tat Sarvatokshi Siro Mukham Sarvatah Sutimalloke Sarvam Avriti Tishtati. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists and pervading everything. And then further, it is also described later on. सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृत्यैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च. The super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all modes of material nature. Okay, so here coming back to the Brahma Samhita shloka now. So this is how Krishna described there in the Brahma Samhita. He has got all transcendental limbs. This is Sat Chit Ananda. Every limb is a Sat Chit Ananda. Every part works the functions of other parts. So here, Srila Prabhupada is describing here. For the want of a taste of things spiritual, a grave doubt arises in the minds of those who are enchained by worldly knowledge. On hearing the narration of the pastimes of Krishna, they think that the truth regarding Krishna is the mental concoction of certain learned scholars created by their imaginative brains out of material drawn from the mundane principles. But these are all is concoctions again. These concoctions, how it is possible to enjoy? So here it gives there is a transcendental variegatedness. In this material world, again in the Brahma Samhita, yasya prabhavato jagadanda kotishvasheshu vasudadi vibhuti bhinnam. All kinds of vasudha is the earth, vasudadi bhinnam. There it is described, the earth contains varieties of living entities. 8.4 million different species of life exist. Again, out of those 400,000 of human beings. Out of those, again, there are civilized human beings. These are all called Aryans who are following the Varnashrama Dharma. Out of those things, different Varnas and Ashramas. And out of those things, Brahmanas are the best. Out of Brahmanas, the topmost is the Vaishnavas. Again, that is the gradual steps. So, but the topmost who has surrendered unto the Lotus way, he is the topmost devotee of the Lord. Okay, this is, but when we see everything, it is the variegatedness. This is Vasudhadi Vibhuti Bhinnam, all the manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But some parties, when we are in the Krishna consciousness, we see everything in a transcendental state because it is in associating with the Lord. And if one thinks that it is not associated with the Lord, then it is in the ignorance or the illusion. That is again going to it describes the second shloka of Chatusshloki Bhagavata. Pratyardham yat pratyeta na pratyet chatmani tad vidyad atmano mayam yata bhaso yata tamaha. Enter cosmic manifestation rest on the Lord. So nothing which is beyond the Lord. Everything is within the Lord. It is Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya avyayasya cha. सुख शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखस्य ऐकान्तिकस्य च. When he comes to that transcendental position, he does not see anything indifferent from the Lord. Yes, that is the point. So here, from the materialistic point of view, the scholars, they draw some kind of mental concoctions based on what their material experience has got. In order to remove that one, so Brahma in this verse, and he is mentioning following the shlokas, three following, Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalparuksha Lakshavrute Surabhirabhipalayantam, starting from that one. Lakshmi Sahasrasati Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It is describing the variegatedness, the cows and the goddesses of fortune they're serving and palaces. It is variegatedness. And what else? There it is again Krishna is playing his flute. Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayaksham Barhavatam Sammastam Buddha Sundharangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. And the beautiful Krishna is described how he is playing his flute. And his decorations, Alola Chandra Kalasadvanamalia Vamsi, Ratnangadam Pranaya Keli Kalavilasam, Shyamam Tribangalilitam Nita Prakasham, Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Among those variegatedness, the beautiful personality Krishna. And now here, and his Krishna's different limbs, their functions, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chinmaya sudajjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. He does everything. So here Brahma is giving that varieties. So here between those two things, after distinguishing between the two things, with spirit and matter in rational manner, he has tried to make one understand the pure Leela of Krishna, obtained by his unmixed ecstatic trance. And Brahma wants to say that that form of Krishna is all existence, all knowledge, and all bliss, whereas all mundane experiences are full of palpable ignorance. This one, when we see the life in and around us, we have to see the life. When we are seeing the life, that it is Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna, we feel so much of happy. This is again we respect with and exchange the love between everything. And there are some of the living entities based on our feelings, whether we are fearful or ignorant or based on our feelings, they will also reciprocate. For example, if we enter into the forest, we come across a tiger. If tiger looks out our eyes and then if we are fearful of it, then immediately it would attack. And if we just stand there with a braveness and try, and then sometimes it may go away unless it is hungry. So it will reciprocate based on the responses. Generally, the sages who are following the austerities and penances, they're always calm, quiet, and peaceful, and they are equipoised to all other living entities. So those living entities, even the snakes are also like Haridas Thakur was chanting in the forest cave, and this snake is also in cooperation with Haridas Thakur. Later on, because other devotees are coming to see him, so Haridas Thakur mentioned that uh, it may not be comfortable for him, for the snake, and then the snake has left. That is the understanding. There is when he comes to the devotee comes to the position that he sees the Lord everywhere. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chayo Supake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. When he become a Pandita, he sees everything in with equal vision. And then Arahye Dhanamana. Again, Kapil Bhagavan says one has to give respect to all living entities. Arahye Dhanamana. By giving respect, they do have got their own life. Sometimes it is just a simply a fly. I can kill it. Comes into my hand and then catch it and kill it. It is disturbing my kitchen. Always not looking good. Sometimes we see it, but we should respect its life, its freedom. Why freedom only for the human? It is right of every living entity. They're all children of the Lord, like ourselves. Bodies are different, but everyone is a life child of the Lord. If we harm one of the person, the natural law, the mother does not keep quiet. It will punish. Mother will punish. If mother in front of the mother, if we are, if mother has got few children, intelligent children, and some are ignorant children, mother is more inclined to those ignorant children because she has to look after them very more carefully. Intelligent child, he will take care of by himself. But by any chance, if the intelligent child is harming the ignorant child, because knowing the vulnerability of the innocent child, then mother will punish him more severely. Father will punish him more severely. That's why dharma is applicable for the human beings. If they do any mistakes, immediately they will be punishable. But whereas the animals, knowingly or unknowingly, if they are doing and harming other human beings, they do not have got punishments. But of course, the humans may try to defend themselves and then they may kill other animals in order to defend themselves and protect themselves. That may be all right if they have got a justice to protect themselves. But unless they have evoked or provoked that situation. Okay, but here the nature will punish them. So one has to see everything is in relation to the Lord. This is all variegated. Then everything in the spiritual. But people who does not have that spiritual vision, they have got a palpable ignorance. All of their experiences are full of palpable ignorance. Although there is specific difference between the two, fundamental truth is the spiritual affairs constitute the absolute source. They constitute the absolute source. So, for example, if I see the devotees, each devotee has got a meal of love towards the Lord. They reciprocate. And one devotee have wanted to go to different kinds of pilgrimages and feel that happiness and bliss. Another devotee wanted to sing very nicely. Another devotee wanted to perform devotional service perfectly. And one may wanted to sing and glorify. One may wanted to recite. Everyone are relating to Krishna only. These are all called variegatedness. Activities are in different activities. This is variegatedness, all spiritual. In the similar way, people see material world. One person wanted to go to some picnic and then eat there. And one person wanted to go to the swim and swim there for his pleasure. And one person may wanted to run and one person wanted to dominate other people like a politician. Some people wanted to do something, some killing, fishing and killing, but everything that is sense gratificatory things. He wanted to please his senses, his pride, his anger, his lust, his greed. That is the materialism. But in the spiritual, everyone are trying to glorify Krishna in your different varieties. It is entirely spiritual world. Again, here we see as a life and consciousness and their activities. So this is the specific difference between the two. Fundamental truth is that spiritual affairs constitute the absolute source. Specification and variegatedness are ever present in it. So this is specifications. One person is yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yadikshanam, yad vandanam. Again, Sukadeva Goswami says varieties. Yat kirtanam, yat kirtanam, yat smaranam, yadikshanam, yad vandhanam, lokasya sadhyo vidnosh kalmasham, tasmai subhadrasravase namo namaha. Tasmai subhadrasravase namo namaha. One person may, this is Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Achanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. There are different examples of those devotees and pastimes, all variegatedness. They're all ever present in it. By them are established the transcendental abode, form, name, quality, and sports of Krishna. Okay. Some people going in the airplanes. Vaimanikaha sa lalana charitani shashvat gayanti yatra samalakshapanani bhattuhu antarjali anubhikasat madhumadaveenam gandhena kandita dhyopi anilam kshipantaha पारवतान्यन्यपुरसारसचक्रवाका धातूतहं ससुकतित्रिबर्हिणां यः कोलाहलो विरमते अचिरमात्रमुच्चैः भृङ्गादिपे हरिकथामिव गायमाने मन्दारकुन्दकुर्वोत्पलचम्पकार्णा पुन्नागनागवकुलाम्बुज पारिजाताः गन्धे चिते तुलसिकाभरणेन तस्या यस्त्विं तपः सुमनसो बहुमानयन्ति यत्सङ्कुलं हरिपदार्घ्यमात्रदृष्टैः वैडूर्यमार्कतहेममयैः विमानयैः येषां बृहत्कटितटाः स्मितशोभिमुख्यः कृष्णात्मानं न रज आदुः स्मयाध्यै श्रीरूपिणि कुणयति चरणारविन्दं लीलाम्बुजेन हरिपद्मनिमुक्तदोष संलक्ष्यते स्फटिककुड्य उपेतहेम्नि सम्मार्जयतीव यदनुग्रहणे अन्ययत्नः वापीश विद्युमतटासु अमलामृताप्सु प्रेष्वान्वितनिजवने तुलसीभिरीशम् अभ्यर्च्यति स्वलकमुन्न समीक्ष वक्त्रम् उच्छेसितं भगवते इति अमृताङ्ग यत्श्रीः. All Vaikuntha lokas. This is description Brahma is giving so beautiful about Vaikunthas. This is all variegated. Different pastimes are going on, and this is everyone desires to go there. Everyone. This is Spruhayanti. Everyone desires to go to those Vaikuntha planets. Then they would really experience the love exchanges between the Lord and the devotees. It is all eternal. One has to hear these descriptions. Yannavrijintyagavido rachananuvādat shruṇvanti yeni vishyaha kukatāmatignihi yastu sutta hatadhagaihi nruvirattasara tam tam kshapanti asarneshu tamassu hanta. Who does not hear these topics of the Lord and Vaikuntha descriptions? They will go to the mode of ignorance. Tam tam kshapanti asarneshu tamassu hanta. They will take birth among the animal species. Tamassu. Shipanti. That Brahma mentioned so beautiful descriptions of Vaikuntha that will come in the 15th chapter. Okay, so here, this is the name, quality, and sports of Krishna. This is transcendental abode. So it is only by a person possessed of pure spiritual knowledge and freedom from any relationship with Maya that those amorous pastimes of Krishna cannot all be appreciated. Amorous pastimes of Krishna cannot all be appreciated. When we go to the temple there, everyone are engaged. Many people, they work in different services. Some are doing in the kitchen, some are in the temple room, some are serving the devotees. Everything is in cooperation. That is appreciable. All amorous pastime. And like if you see women and men, women are just dressing themselves nicely decorated with tilak, kantimala, nice beautiful saris. All are goddess of fortunes. There is no tinge of Krishna Atmanam, Naraja, no more of passion. No one look at the beauties of the women to get attracted by themselves. That does not happen because they're all Krishna Atmanam. Naraja, there is no passion. They are not attracted because they wanted to absorb in devotions. They wanted to serve the Lord, absorb in singing glories of the Lord, somewhere or other to please the Lord, to get the favor of the Lord. Yadanugraha. But it is so beautiful. This is all varieties. Things are happening. No ignorance, no passion. Everything in devotion, love and devotion. Okay, all that be appreciated. That is spiritual abode. The spiritual abode, the seat of pastimes, emanated from the chit potency and formed of Chintamani, transcendental philosopher's stone, and the figure of Krishna are all spiritual. Okay, everything is spiritual, chit potency. Just as Maya is the perverted reflection of the spiritual potency. So Maya is, which is not permanent. Initially, it appears that sense pleasure, immediate sense pleasures, but later on, it will bring the bitter experiences. That is Maya. The variegatedness created by Maya ignorance is also a perverted reflection of spiritual variegatedness. This is the Buddhamolam Adashakam. All the activities in the temple, we think when we are seeing all this beauty is going on, different services, variegatedness, and when there is any thought coming it, I want it to enjoy by myself, then he will be immediately going out of the temple, and then he will caught by Maya. The similar activities, but it is sensual pleasure. Immediately he will experience a little bit. Later on, he will pull it into darkness of those dark angles. He will be going through struggle for existence, working hard, paying the bills. So many things will come and then maintain the house, family, children, and then he will not even breathe. That is all Maya. So, that is the perverted reflection of spiritual variegatedness. A mere semblance of the spiritual variegatedness is only noticed in this mundane world. Notwithstanding such semblance, the two are wholly different from one another. The wholesomeness of the matter is defect, but in the spirit there is variegatedness which is free from any fault or contamination. This is mukta dosha. There is Shri Rupani Konayanti Charanara Leelam Bhujena Harisadmani Mukta dosha. No more faults. All there Kaivalyamiva Murtimat. Kaivalyamiva Murtimat. And variegatedness is there. Every living entity has retained their individual position and engaged themselves in the services, which is free from Mukta dosha. The soul and the body of Krishna are identical. And whereas the body and soul of fallen creatures are not so. My hand does only one act, my legs does one act, my eyes cannot eat, my tongue cannot speak, my tongue cannot see. They have got only one function. So where Lord has got each limb performs all functions. Again, it is and that is the soul and the body of Krishna are identical. Not only all these things, and his name also that's why it is called absolute truth. Chintamani Nam. What is that? Chintamani Nama Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatvad Nama Naminoho. And there is no difference between Krishna and his name and his pastimes and everything else here. All it is, we are seeing Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. That is the Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto, completeness. Abhinnatvat, they're all transcendental. There is no difference between his name and his form and qualities. So that is absolute. So the body of Krishna are identical, whereas the body and soul of fallen creatures are not so. In the spiritual sphere, there is no such difference as that between the body and soul, between the limbs and their proprietor, between the attributes and the object possessing them of this world. Okay, there is no such difference. That is spiritual world. But such difference really exists in the case of conditioned souls. We can practically see that this is the limitedness. So limbed through Krishna, limbed though Krishna is, his every limb is the whole entity, is completeness. Purna Shuddho, Nitya Mukto, completeness, all completeness. He performs all varieties of divine um, spiritual functions with every one of his limbs. Hence, he is an invisible whole and a perfect transcendental entity. He is the indivisible whole and perfect transcendental. So, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam. Again, in the Upanishad, it describes he is the Nityo Nityanam. He is eternal, supremely eternal out of all eternals. And Chetanas Chetananam, he is supremely consciousness among the consciousness. So there, he is indivisible whole and perfect transcendental entity. Both Jiva and soul, Krishna are transcendental, but they belong to the same category. They belong to the same category. So Krishna is Hapare mitasvanyam vidhi me param prakritim Jiva bhuta mahabaho yedham dharite jagat. Those living entities belong to the Vidyame param prakriti. They belong to spiritual nature. But Jiva bhutam, their Jiva bhutam, the living entities, Mahabaho, Edam dharite jagat. They come to this material world to experience the sensual pleasures. But they are not belong to this material world. They belong to the spiritual world. Okay, so the living entities and the Lord, they belong to the same category. But they differ in this that the transcendental attributes exist in Jiva soul, infinite simile, small degrees. They are also very tiny. Whereas in the Krishna, they are found in their fullest perfection. Shadaishwaryehi Purno, completeness. Purno, Yeha Bhagavan. So that is in full in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, those attributes manifest themselves in their proper infinite simile only when the Jiva soul attains his unadulterated spiritual status. Even though he is completely attained spiritual perfection, those will exist. This is animanam akanditam, nirantaram swayam jyotihi animanam akanditam, tada purusham atmanam kevalam prakritehe param. He is beyond. Living entity is beyond the material nature. Prakritehe param. Nirantaram Swayam Jyotihi is always effulgent. Swayam Jyotihi, but he is Animanam Akanditam, without cessation, but he is a tiny Anu, whereas Supreme Lord is the Vibhu, is the fullest in all perfections. The Jiva soul attains the nearest approach to the absolute identity only when the spiritual force of ecstatic energy appears in him by the grace of Krishna. This is the by the Mad Anugraha. Krishna says, by my mercy, O Brahma, you will get the knowledge. When Brahma is also getting his knowledge by the mercy of the Lord, what to speak of all living entities? They're all entirely depend on the mercy of the Lord, by the grace of the Lord, by grace of Krishna. Then only they can attain a perfection, but here that also a tiny part. And still Krishna remains the object of universal homage by reason of his possession of certain unique attributes. And that is how Krishna, he has got his identity. Natyevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha. Again in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, he says, Natyevaham. Everyone exists all the time. Natvam. Where is that one? It's chapter 2. I think it is around 30th shloka comes here. They know singing, and the next shloka maybe mantras parshes. Can anyone remember that shloka maybe? Janadipa, I think let's Jana. Can anyone remember which shloka is that one? Uh, 11 shloka. Mataji?
Sorry, it's definitely not in the earlier part.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Natte vahum jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam ataha param. In the it is said, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. O Arjuna. So here Prabhupada gives in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the maintainer of innumerable living entities in terms of different situations according to individual work and reaction of work. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also, by his plenary portions, alive in the heart of every living entity. Only saintly persons who can see him, and without the same Supreme Lord can actually attain to perfect and eternal peace. There it is mentioned, Nityo Nichanam Chetanas Chetananam Yeko Bahunam Yo Vididhati Kaman Tam Atmastam Ye Anupasyanti Dhiraha Tesham Shantihi Shashvati Netaresham Na Itaresham. No one else. Only one who sees that they will experience that transcendental bliss. Anupasyanti Dhiraha. Anupasyanti. All the time they see it. Dhiraha. Tam Atmastam. The same Vedic truth given to Arjuna is given to all persons who possess themselves as very learned but factually have but a poor fund of knowledge. The Lord says clearly that he himself, Arjuna, and all the kings who are assembled on the battlefield are eternally individual beings, and that the Lord is eternal, the maintainer of individual living entities, both in their condition and in their liberated situations. And Supreme Personality of Godhead is Supreme Individual Person, and Arjuna, Eternal Associate, and all the kings assembled there are individual eternal persons. It is not that they did not exist as individuals in the past, and it is not that they will not remain eternal persons. Their individuality existed in the past, and their individuality will continue in the future without interruption. Therefore, there is no cause for lamentation for anyone. Okay, so this is Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidhati Kaman. Lord maintains everyone, even though he is one, Eko Bahunam. He maintains innumerable living entities. Yes, coming back to the Brahma Samhita here. So here, so those attributes manifest themselves in their proper infinite simile only when the Jiva soul attains the unadulterated spiritual status. Jiva soul attains the nearest approach to the absolute identity only, and when the spiritual force of ecstatic energy appears in him by grace of Krishna. Still, Krishna remains the object of universal homage. Eko bahunam vidhati kaman. A single universal homage by reason of his possession of certain unique attributes. These fourfold unrivaled attributes do not manifest themselves in Narayana also. Okay, there are again coming back to reflection of Krishna's four more unique attributes. So see there it is mentioned Krishna remains object of universal homage. This is Ashrayaha. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned Atra Sargo Visargasha Sthanam Poshanam Votayaha Manmantra Ishanukata Nirodho Mukti Ashrayaha. Mukti Ashrayaha. Ashraya comes at the last, which is a shelter for all other 9 topics. Again, it is described by Sukadeva Goswami. अत्र सर्गो विसर्गस्य स्थानं पोषणमूतयः मन्वन्तर ईशानकथ निरोधमुक्तिराश्रयः. And there it is described all these 9 topics. Out of those 10, 9 topics are gradually spoken in the 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 10th canto, it is beyond mukti. 10th canto is beyond mukti, which is the shelter or ashraya for all other 9 topics behind, which were previously discussed in the 9 cantos. Likewise, it describes. Where is that one? It is comes in the 2nd canto, 10th chapter. There it is described here by Atra Sargo Visargasha Sthanam Poshanamutayaha Manvantar Ishanakata Nirodha Mukti Rashrayaha. There, Dasamasya Visudyadham, in order to describe Dasamasya Visudyadham, Navanam Ihalakshanam, the 9 are described in a gradual way. Varnayanti Mahatmanaha, they have glorified Varnayanti Mahatmanaha by great sages. Sutena Advena cha Anjasa, so that one can easily understand. So here, to isolate the transcendence of Samam and Bonam, that is 10th canto, or Ashraya, the symptoms of the rest are described sometimes by Vedic inference, sometimes by direct explanations, and sometimes by summary explanations is given by the great sages. So, Srutena Anjasa. Okay, so likewise, they give, this is the 10th chapter, is the Ashraya. That is the 10th canto. Okay, and here, what close it seems. So, but here within the later on, Krishna has got 4 qualities, the unique qualities out of all. Krishna's 4, can anyone say those 4 qualities?
There is a flute.
Yes.
Surrounded by devotees.
Surrounded by devotees.
Pastimes, maybe.
Yes. Bhakta Madhuri, yes.
Beauty.
Yes. Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Bhakta Madhuri, yes.
4, yes. So I
And
said 4.
pastimes.
Yes.
Leela Madhuri.
Yeah, yeah.
So those are the 4 unique attributes. And Lord Narayana has got 60 of those qualities. Krishna has got 4 more unique qualities. They do not even manifest themselves in Narayana, the Lord of Vaikuntha, or primal Purusha avatars, or in the highest deities such as Shiva, not to speak of the Jivas. Okay, so that is the beauty of Krishna here. All of his limbs, they perform all activities. Ananda, this is Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So beautiful. Okay. So I stop there and I request the devotees, if you have got any questions, you wanted to share anything, any reflections, any comments, kindly speak, kindly ask questions. Hare Krishna. Because Asha Mataji and Jagriti Mataji are not have not recited this shloka. Would you like to recite this shlokas, Mataji? I shall repeat.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, Prabhuji, what we need to do?
Okay, just follow line by line, Mataji, everyone.
Okay, first Asa Mataji. Yeah?
All devotees can follow. And Angani yasya sakalendriyavrittimanti
Angani yashya sagalendriyavrittimandi
Yangani yase es sanskalendriya vatimanti
pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti.
Pashyanti pandi kalayanti siram jagandi
pasyanti panti kalayanti krayam jagananti
Chiram jaganti.
tiram jaganti
Ananda chinmaya sudujjvala vigrahasya
Ananda sinmaya sadujjvala vikrahasya
ananda sinamaya sada uji sorry Prabhuji ujvala
yes
Vrigahansya
govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami
Govinda Adi Purusam Tama Aham Bhajami
This is purusham,
Purusa
not sa.
Purusaham
Purusham,
Purusam
sham, sha.
Purusam Osha Prabhuji
This is
Purusham
yes.
Purusham Tam
Purusham tam aham bhajami.
Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami.
Yes.
Thank you Prabhuji.
Okay, once again. Angani yasya sakalendriyavrittimanti
Yanga
Angani yashya sagalendriyavrittimandi
Yangani Yash Asaya Sakalai Sakalandriya Vritti Manti
pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti.
Pashyanti pandi kalayanti siram jagandi
Pasyamti Pananti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti
Ananda chinmaya sudujjvala vigrahasya
Ananda chitmaya sadujjvala vikrahasya
Anandamay Anandaya Chinamaya Sada Ujvala Vigrashaya
govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Govindamadi purusham tamagam bhajami
Govinda Adi Purusham Tama Ahamaja Bhajami.
Very beautiful. Okay, would you like to recite Mataji? Asha Mataji, would you like to go?
Yes, Prabhu. Angani yashya sagalendriya vrittimandi pashyandi pandi kalayandi shiram jagandi ananda shinmaya sadujjvala vikrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
Very beautiful. Jagriti Mataji, would you like to
Yeah.
recite?
An Gayani Yasya Sakalandriya Varti Manti Pasyanti Ipanti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Sinamaya Sada Ujvala Vigrasya Govindam Adipurusam Tam Aham Bhajami. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Very beautiful, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, dear devotees, if you have got any questions, kindly ask. Anything is taking your mind to ask or share, kindly do. That's it. Hare Krishna. Any comments as well?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
So like so nicely explain about like Krishna's like past like opulence and everything. And and Brahma is so like it's so attractive everyone, but why still like Maya is so much more than spirituality? Like why everybody attracts so much Maya? And like even God, like how beautiful, how is just say here. So yeah.
They forgot about the Lord. That's all. One is the desire to enjoy themselves, and the second is the forgetfulness of the Lord. Tadati Krutyamam Yedvo Bohokratam Atikramam.
Krishna not give intelligent everyone like to attract him, like why is Maya?
Yes. Yasmin yada pushkaranabhamaya dhurantaya spruštadiha pradagdrushah कुर्वन्ति तत्र हि अनुकम्पे कृपां न साधु दयो बलात् कृते क्रमम् यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करणाभमायया everyone or uh, intoxicated with sense gratification. They wanted to achieve something, they wanted to show off something. That is called false ego. यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करणाभमायया धुरन्तया स्पृष्टदयः पृथग्दुषः. In different ways they are being attracted.
Like God is sitting everybody's heart, so why still like Maya is more powerful than like
God is here with everyone, but people, all the living entities, the Lord is in the heart of all living entities. Some living entities are more inclined to do sinful activities, and Lord is always watching them. They want to do it. It is their desire. It is their desire. Same question Vidura asked before as well in the 7th chapter of 3rd canto. At that time, Maitreya Muni asked him, यदत्तेन विनामुष्य पुंसात्म विपर्ययः प्रतीयत उपद्रष्टुः स्वशिरश्छेदनादिकः. And he gives the analogy that he gives in order to cut those such kind of conceptions. Why people they do still sinful activities, though Lord is present in the heart of the living entity. यदत्तेन विनामूष्य पुंसात्म विपर्ययः प्रतीयत उपद्रष्टुः स्वशिरश्छेदनादिकः. So swasirashchedanaadikaha in the 7th chapter. There it is described there. Let me just show that one. They experience those pleasures, their conceptions there, further inquiries. He cut the message. I think this one. So Vidura's questions are very, very beautiful here. And Maitreya Muni gives very swasirashchedanaadikaha. I think cutting the head. What is that? Cut head. Second shloka. The living entity is in distress regarding the self-identity. He has no factual background, like a man who dreams that he sees his head cut off. But how can one see if his head is cut off? For example, if I go in front of a mirror, I can see myself. And also, I cannot see myself if I cut off my head. And what I will do, so there might be sometimes one of the person he is cutting his head and put it into the fire. Lord, his Ravanasura. In order to please Lord Shiva, he was cutting all his heads and putting in the fire to please Lord Shiva. When he cuts, so because he has got so many heads, he could see himself with one of the head. But a person, if he cuts his head, he cannot see. He is only immediately there is a death. Body is lifeless. But one can see he himself in the dream that his head is cut off. This material body, material life is like that. It is a Manyamanam idam vishwam maya rachita matmani avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropamam. This is avidya rachita swapna. It's a dream. Gandharva nagaropamam, phantasmagoria, Prabhupada describes, and Dhru Maharaj, he also understands it is phantasmagoria. This is Vidura is asking questions here. So here, the Lord, as super soul, is situated in every living being's heart. Why then do the living entities' activities result in misfortune and misery? O great one and learned one, my mind is greatly illusioned by the distress of these nescience, and I therefore request you to clear it up. Then Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning the answers by. So here, his reflection is Maitreya Muni being thus agitated by the inquisitive Vidura. Why such kind of questions coming from Vidura? Likewise, Maitreya is thinking. So Sukadeva Goswami mentioning to Parikshit. At first seemed astonished, but then he replied to him without hesitation, since he was fully God conscious. Because Vidura is also a devotee. And these questions would for understanding of for further people. It is not that they have got that kind of concept. So Maitreya Muni mentions here the living entity is certain conditioned souls put forward the theory that the Supreme Brahman or the personality of Godhead is overcome by illusion or Maya, and at the same time they maintain that he is unconditioned, that is against all logic. Okay, so this one, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is all powerful. That is one thing they only say. Those people, again, they say the same thing. When they comes here and the Lord also performs similar to activities. In the previous life, he was Rama, Krishna was Rama, and then he has hit Vali, and then later on, in order to take the similar kind of revenge by Vali to Rama, here he came as a Krishna, and then at the end there is a hunter, and then he has hit the arrow with the toe to the toe of Lord Krishna. In such a way, it has happened. They see one side they glorify Krishna Supreme Personality of Godhead, and other side the same person he will put the materialistic conceptions. This is against all logic. And Maitreya Muni further saying this is Yadatena Vinamusha Pumsatma Viparyeyaha Pratiyat Upadrashtuhu Swasiraschedanaadikaha. As again, he gives a few analogies like as the moon reflected on water appears to the sea to tremble due to the being associated with the quality of the water. So the self associated with matter appears to be qualified as matter. But the moon, it does not move with the waves. But moon is already fixed in the sky. But only the waves in the water, they are all moving, not the moon. But when we see in the water, it is what we perceive that matters. That is a misconception. If we see the sky, actually, that is spiritual vision. Moon is always staying there. We do not see the trembleness of the water. Again, there are many of those. Here, Maitreya Muni gives very detailed descriptions. Again, we have passed through this chapter as well. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Which chapter is this, Prabhupada?
7th chapter.
Bhagavatam 7th chapter.
Yes, I think possibly you might be in the pilgrimage during that time. I'm not sure, Mataji. It is 7th chapter. Third canto, chapter 7. There he gives. Vidura asked the similar question.
Yes.
Your question itself.
Okay. Which we have done already in this chapter.
Third canto, chapter 7, verse number 6.
I said like we already has done this chapter.
Yes, we have already completed these discussions.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, nice.
Okay, any other questions, dear devotees?
Prabhuji, I had a question. You know, in this purport, towards the bottom, it talks about individuality.
Yes.
Where are we now? So I just wanted to understand that. So it's saying that, where is that line? Unique? No.
Individual, indivisible.
No, it says, it talks about individuality.
Individuality,
I read it in this purport only.
in this purport. I think we may go a little bit up first, I think.
I think it was towards the bottom some.
Even I have seen that one. Identity is here. Jiva soul.
That bit there where they're talking, are they talking about Chintya Bheda Abheda? That one there, that line, is that what they're talking about there? Jiva soul in small degrees, where the attributes, in quality it's the same, but in quantity it's different. Is that what they mean there?
Yes, Mataji, that comes as part of Achintya Bheda. Yes.
But the individuality one, I just wanted to understand, but I need to see that sentence again.
That individuality comes like where there's that one.
So it's something like it comes from your previous life or something. Everyone is individual.
Yeah, that is Nattevaham Jatunasam Nattvam Nime Janadipaha.
Yeah.
That comes like in Vedic, second chapter, towards the verse. That individuality. So there it is described.
Maybe it's here. Yeah, maybe it's in this purport. Sorry, I thought it was in the other one. Oh, yeah, okay. So that individuality that existed in the past, so does it mean that whatever we were in the past, that same individuality is carried in this life as well?
Yes.
So then we don't change as such? I thought that you are meant to like progress in each and every life, hopefully. That is the idea. So then individuality should change, should it not?
So individuality is specific to the soul means, for example, here itself we can practically experience when I was a child. When I was in a child body, the child body is no more exist now. Later on, little bit youth body, later on adulthood, and then later on old body, and then gradually dwindled body, later on dead body. Body will go off, but individual is always remain. That one, it will accept another body. That is the soul is the individual. That is what our identity, not the body. That will, again, it will accept another body. So it will always exist. The time does not act on the individual souls, but it acts on the material bodies. So in order to give explanation to Arjuna here, Krishna is mentioning this. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. We always exist as individual souls, but we accept different bodies according to our taste and our desires and given by the material nature. But individuality will continue in the future without interruption.
So I was reading in I don't know where I was reading, but in Vaikuntha planets,
Yeah.
I think they all look the same, don't they? Mostly they look the same, but
So,
yet their individuality is different or something like that.
yes, they look like a four-handed personality.
Yes, yeah, four-handed.
Yes. Vasanta yatra purushaha sarve vaikunta murtayaha. Everyone look like the four-handed personality of Godhead Narayana. So there it is described there. Sarve vaikunta murtayaha. वसन्त्यत्र पुरुषाः सर्वे वैकुण्ठमूर्तयः ये निमित्तेन धर्मेण आराधयन् हरिम्. In the Vaikuntha planets, all the residents are similar in the form to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They all engage in the devotional service to the Lord without desires for sense gratification. Or like the Supreme Personality of Godhead look like, but their individuality is maintained. For example, how do we understand? For example, here itself, if you look at the white-bodied people, almost everyone look like the same for other people, for other funny. If a other person come from a different country, he will, first of all, he cannot discriminate which person is what. And similarly, if this person goes to there, and he also feels that in the similar way. And if you have got so many cows, white cows, which cow is what? In the beginning, it will be very difficult to identify. But when we are closely associating with individual cows, individual personalities, individual persons in the office, then we will come to know, this person, this name and his work and how he is associating with what kind of functions. Those things will come to know slowly. Similarly, in the Vaikuntha Lok also, though they look like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, each one has got a different functionality, but mainly they're all glorifying the Lord.
So that soul is unique in a way.
Yes, it is unique. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And that soul, that unique soul, when it goes into the next life, surely that uniqueness should change a bit because you idea is to progress.
Ideas would change, but soul will not change.
Okay. So the ideas will change, but the soul will stay the same. Okay. So it's your outer, your mind, your understanding, all those kind of things will change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, it is progressive path.
Okay. Yeah.
Whenever it is pure consciousness, Yatapam Prakriti Paraha, that is called Vasudeva Sthiti. Vasudeva Sthiti means no more material conceptions. Everything is of spiritual conscious. Until that point, these ideas are just going step by step, different ways. Again, on to the Vasudeva state. Yadahuhu Vasudevakyam. That state is called Vasudeva Sthiti. And that point of time, he will reciprocate with the Lord in different pastimes, that is transcendental activities.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. I have another question. I don't know if other people have, then I can always go later or next week.
You can ask the question, Mataji, but we can let us see how.
I can ask next week, Prabhuji. There's no rush. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Any other questions, dear devotees? Or any comments or any reflections? Jagrita Mataji.
Yeah,
Did
is just only one question is, the Mataji asked is about is we can progress and soul is stay same. You said it's a soul stay the same, but is everybody progress in the idea. That means is whoever in spiritual life we can progress, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, until that no more materialism, only pure spiritualism. Etavadyev tatvijnasunatmanaha annava vitrikabhyam yatyat sarvatra sarvada. In all time, place and circumstances, everyone's endeavor to search the absolute truth. That Vasudev Sarvamiti Samhatma Sudarlabaha. One becoming Mahatma, understanding that Krishna is everything. Until that point, they, gradually we are getting purified in step by step, step by step.
That this is reason why Prabhuji is whoever is right now is not in spiritual life. That means is they not progress in the spirituality, right?
So once he is in complete spiritual transcendental position, then how do we perceive those devotees? But they do not have any dealings with this material world. However, in order to fulfill the desire of the Lord to spread Krishna consciousness, they still stay in this material world as long as the Lord desires. But everyone, all the conditioned souls who have got some kind of family attachment, some duties, they wanted to do something, and they will also gradually in their progressing in their path. It is every individual journey to the spiritual world.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji nicely explained. Thank you.
It's not that I'm doing this one, you also do the same thing. No, that is not the right thing. Every individual has got a separate journey. But here we share the information, exchange the information. This is parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavad. Then individual living entity in their spiritual journey, they progress according to their pace. There is no force. They will progress according to their pace.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Very nicely explained.
Thank you, Mataji. Any other questions, dear devotees? Asha Mataji.
No problem. For my little brain is really too much to understand. Try to understand.
You are grasping everything very nicely, Mataji, and now you are reciting very beautiful shlokas, chanting very nicely, and
I ask Radha Krishna's help every time before I recite. I request them. I'm reciting in front of all great devotees. Please help me. Then they help me.
yeah, that is one practically experience. This is pratyakshavagamam dharmyam susukam kattum aviyam. Practical, realization. This is self-realization. It does not happen in the karmis or jnanis.
I am Karmi Prabhu, but all your association only it is slowly happening.
It's all Prabhupada's Hare Krishna movement and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Everyone who come in contact with this one, they will progress very beautifully by the mercy of the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So sincerity is very, very critical here. Any other comments, dear devotees? Any question? During the Mataji. So there are no questions, dear devotees. No comments. Then we shall conclude and continue with further chapter if you are all happy. We shall conclude. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hari Bol, Hari
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
With all of you, all the Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Radha Krishna, thank you so much. It is all devotees association. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद।
Prabhupada ki jai.
Everyone,
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त